Morning guys. I didn't even participate yesterday, we just ran it and I was feeling pretty sore and sorry for myself this morning. So got up, made my bed, just been for a little 3K recovery jog. It might look like a walk for you, but get up and move through those stiff muscles. It's the best thing that you can do, preferably out in the fresh air. Fresh air and natural sunlight, especially first thing in the morning, is really good for you physically and mentally. I'm now just going to have a little stretch, so feel free to join in. If you want some guidance, I promise it will make you feel a lot better. So we're going to start standing up, reaching up nice and tall to the sky. Couple of big deep breaths in here. And take our arms down and rolling, chin to the chest, rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Down as far as you can. Having a nice hang here, grabbing the opposite elbow, stretching through the hamstrings, the lower back. Gentle little sway side to side here for me. Take that stretch slowly through each side. We're going to walk our hands out into push-up position. Push-up position, ready? No, just joking. From here, we're going to push back into our downward dog, pushing the ground away. Oh, a bit slippy here on the grass. Stretching through the upper back, the thoracic spine, pushing the heels down to the ground. Just take a little pedal out through each calf here. So bending one knee, slowly swapping to the other, pushing that heel down to the ground. Feeling that nice stretch through the calves, through the hammies. From here, walk the hands in a little closer. We're going to drop our knees down to the ground. We're going to come into some cat-cows. So we're lifting our head up, looking right up to the sky, and arching through that lower back there, dropping our belly button towards the ground as much as we can, pulling the shoulders away from your ears. And then we're going to slowly come into the opposite of this position. So you're pushing the ground away, chin to the chest, really trying to tuck that belly button into your spine. Trying to create a nice round back, just like an angry cat. And we're coming one more each way. Big breath in, dropping the belly button down, shoulders relaxing, gaze up to the sky. And back to our angry cat. From here, we're going to take one hand, thread through, bending that elbow that's supporting and rolling onto that opposite shoulder. Feeling a nice little stretch there, right down through the back. Couple of deep breaths here. Just taking all these stretches, guys, to your comfort point. We don't want to be stretching into pain. A little bit of discomfort's good, but not pain. I did way too many years of gymnastics as a kid, so I'm quite naturally flexible still. A few years of powerlifting over the last couple of years has definitely stiffened me up a little bit more than I was, but I do still have fairly good range of mobility, so some of these stretches may not look exactly the same for you, and that's totally okay. Bringing that arm back through, and we're going to sit back into our child's pose. Pushing that bottom back towards the heels. Stretching out long through the arms. Have a big deep breath here. And we're going to walk our hands to one side. Feel that stretch intensify down the one side. Right up from under the armpit, right down through the lat, down to the lower back. And we're going to gently make our way across to the other side. If you're not used to carrying weight, particularly when you're walking or walking on uneven ground like sand, you may be feeling it in your back a little bit. Your posterior chain works very hard to support you. You may also be feeling your core as well. It's amazing how much hard work it is on your core having to carry weight, particularly on an uneven ground like the sand. Walking back to the middle, and we're going to slowly come up to a kneel, bringing one foot out in front of us, toe up to the nose, and sitting back into a nice hamstring stretch here. Pushing back from the hips here, trying not to round through that lower back. We're hinging, we're not folding through the lower back here. We want that stretch to come up the back of the leg in the hamstring. Another couple of deep breaths. We're going to push forwards into our lunge and hip flexor stretch. So think about tucking the pelvis here under, and then we're pushing that back glute forwards rather than coming into a big lunge like that. That's not actually stretching my hip flexor as much. So sitting up nice and tall, tuck the pelvis, push that back glute forwards. And then if you want to intensify it a little bit more, we can take that arm of the back leg up and slightly over. From here, we're going to take our hands down for balance if we need to. We're going to drop this leg out to the side, and we're going to reach across with the same arm as the leg that's in front. So you'll feel this come a lot more into your adductor, up the inside of your leg there, into your groin. Good. We're going to swap legs, and we're going to do all of them again. Swapping legs, starting with our hammy, pulling that toe back up towards you, hinging from the hips, pushing that bottom down. Feeling that nice stretch up through the hamstrings. And we're coming up into our hip flexor. So again, tuck that hip under, rotate the pelvis, push that back glute forwards, and reaching up and over. And coming into our adductor, so hands down if you need to for the support, drop that leg away from you, let it rotate out to the side and reaching across. Okay, coming around, sitting, legs stretched out in front of you. We're going to take one leg, pop our foot over our knee, and give it a big hug. Okay, if that's enough stretch for you there as it is, that's great. If not, you can pull that foot in a little bit closer, take the opposite arm, give it a big hug, and then we're going to think about lifting up and rotating away. Not just turning, we're actually lifting as we turn here. Feeling that stretch wherever your body needs it, right through from the glute all the way into the lower back. Potentially your upper back as well if you're tight in your thoracic. And coming back around, we're going to swap sides. Other leg over, just start with a gentle hug. That might be enough for you, particularly if your body took a bit of a beating yesterday. Otherwise, we're pulling in a little bit closer, wrapping around with that opposite arm, reaching up through the crown of the head and twisting away. Okay, we're going to take that line down onto our back now and come into a little bit more of a glute stretch. So we're doing a figure of four, bending one leg up, foot is going on our knee, we're pushing it out to the side, reaching through that hole and pulling the legs towards us. I'll turn around so you can see from a better angle there. Foot on the knee, pulling in. Stretching right into that piriformis in the bottom. Remember to breathe through these stretches, guys. It's supposed to be uncomfortable, not so much painful. And we're going to swap legs here. Relax the head on the ground if that's more comfortable for you. And to finish, we're going to come into my favourite one. This one's really not very glamorous, guys, sorry, but feet up in the air. We're going to grab the insides of your feet. It might be the toes if you don't quite have that range of mobility. Ideally, the insides of the feet, holding on and opening legs, pulling the knees down either side of you. This is called Happy Baby. When you do it, you'll feel why. Feeling nice stretch through the groin there, through the lower back. You can even have a gentle little rock here side to side, and it's a beautiful massage on the erectors, which are the muscles down the sides of your spine. Just a couple of deep breaths here. Coming back up into a kneel, guys, on both knees. We're going to take our bottom onto our heels and just slowly leaning back there into a quad stretch. If you don't have great knees, just be careful with this one. You alternatively can stand up and come into a quad stretch. Otherwise, taking our weight backwards. A little bit of a stretch there through the quads. Think about pushing the hips up to the roof to feel that stretch through the fronts of the legs there. If that one doesn't feel great on anyone's knees, alternatively we can stand up. It's a great balance exercise. One leg behind. Aim to keep the knees together here, guys. We don't want to be pulling that leg back here. Same with our hip flexor. Less is more. So knees together, think about rotating that pelvis forwards and you'll actually feel quite an intense stretch right from the knee right up through the front of the quad. Can't believe I haven't lost my balance yet. That would be something I'd do on camera. I'm going to swap sides. We'll even you up as soon as we're here. Knees together. Think about rotating that pelvis forwards. Breathing into that stretch. Well, what a great morning. Have a great day, guys, and I hope your bed's made.